Champ Contender Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Champ Contender Podcast. My name is Joseph J. Jones.
My name is Fabian Collymore.
And we are live from the Champ Contender pub in my garden with a very special guest, UpIsNotJump, Matt. How you doing, Matt? You okay?
Hello, I'm very good, thanks. How are you, Joe?
I'm all right.
I'm Fabian.
I'm all good, all good.
For those of you who don't know, which you won't know, me and Matt are cousins and very supportive of each other.
Are we?
I hope so.
Since when?
I've always
What
supported
have you done
your
to me lately?
Well, I used to be the voice of Sid, your cat, in most of your videos.
Yeah, can we play the clip?
Yeah, no, let's play the clip.
Is that? Do I have that power?
You can do that. I wanted to bring you in because you've got a fascinating career, really. And I mean, it's not like a career I can explain.
No? Well, what hope do I have?
Yeah. Well, look, for those who don't know you or anything about you, tell us who you are and what you do.
I am a YouTuber, UpIsNotJump, and I review video games for a living. I used to do a lot of science stuff. I did a master's degree in chemistry, which I've forgotten all of now. It's all gone out of my brain. So now I just review video games. It's my main bread and butter.
Right. Well, how do you go from having a chemistry degree at St Andrews in Edinburgh and then you've always loved video games. I mean, even when I remember from being a kid, like it was insane, your knowledge of video games.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, yeah. But it seemed like a natural fit, really, for you to do something in video games. But how do you go from studying chemistry into being a YouTuber?
Well, my wife, Emma, I was talking to her about this, and I think it's two things. I think one of them is you. I didn't realize this till recently, so I have to say this in a way that doesn't sound like I hate you secretly. Because I don't, obviously. Because like when we were growing up, Joe, you have all the talent. You can sing, you can draw. I'm drinking too much beer and burping. You're amazing at art. You're wearing. Can you show the T-shirt? Like Joe designed the T-shirt for one of my merch things, and so I was like, I want to be like that, like in front of everyone, doing something big. So I think you kind of inspired me to like be more of a show. My wife told me this recently when I was talking about you, and she was like, "Do you think Joe like?" Because you would sing in front of our whole family, and everyone would be like, "Oh, isn't Joe what a great singer?" I want to be a great singer, but I couldn't sing or anything. So I think I've always wanted to do something like showman because of that. And then YouTube came out, and I was like, "This is so cool! Like, you can make whatever you want and put it online." Like, it was all. Do you remember Newgrounds by any chance?
No.
Oh.
What's Newgrounds?
So it was run by Tom Fulp. It's still going, I think. It's where people put flash animations, basically.
Right.
Yeah, it's like people could animate stuff on their computers. It was all independent. They'd put it on Newgrounds, and I would watch a lot of that. And that was kind of the precursor to YouTube. It was very similar, but it was like animations and games. And then YouTube came out, and I was like, oh man, this would be so cool. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then I finished uni, and I met my wife, Emma, who is a classical percussionist. And I hated my job at the time. I was working in a pharmaceutical and industrial manufacturing plant.
Wow.
I won't say which one, better not. And I hated it. And so it was a job in chemistry. And my bank account was slowly every month going down. I wasn't earning enough money to live, even though I was doing like the job that my degree got me. And I met Emma, and she runs like a drumline, which is similar to like music and working for yourself and being independent. And I was like, I would love to work for myself. And she was like, oh, and you just do it. And I no one had ever explained to me that you could just become your own boss, start a company, start a business out of nowhere. I always thought that someone had to hire me. And as soon as I realized, because when you're studying chemistry at university, it's like work for GSK, work for Pfizer, get a good job. It was never use this degree to start your own company, because that's not really what you do when you study chemistry, I guess. And so when I met Emma, and she was just like, oh, I run my own company. So I then started my own business on the back of that. So I met her, and within a month, I'd quit my job.
Oh, wow.
So it was a good relationship. So I put it all on that.
Took the leap of faith.
Yeah. And so that was it. So I just was inspired by her and you. They're both... Because you were independent, like... Oh,
that's lovely. I didn't even know that I was anything to do with the cause of that. Because Matt's Matt's a year older than me, and we grew up sort of strapped together, didn't we? Really, we were tied to the hip. You couldn't get more Siamese twins than us, really. Like we were of one person, really, and we were very close friends. You know, we did everything together. And
and that's, like I'm saying, and I couldn't. And you know, we would draw together, and mine would be absolute. And then yours would be amazing, and then or you'd be like singing along, and you know, I would try like do do do. And I was like, I can't sing in tune.
But you've always had this humorous quality that, you know, you are very much your own person, and it is so hard for someone to do. And I've said this a number of times on the show, and I have all these abilities or whatever, like you've just stated that, not me. But for me, I don't feel like it's got me to where I want to go. And with someone like you who has something that's interesting and very much you, it's got you to the place that you are now. I mean, that's lovely that you said that. I really appreciate that. But it's like, I find it fascinating, and more so than ever really now, that I'm trying to do it solely on my own without labels and things like that, and give people more of who I am. And
well, that's how I did it. Yeah, I didn't. But when I think one of the things is when I started. So I have like 1.2 million followers on YouTube. I didn't say I won't interrupt it. So it's reasonably successful. I don't want to be like,
it's very successful.
I don't want to be like, aren't I great? But like, so it has worked out. But I guess when I started, you were trying to be a singer, and I was trying to become a YouTuber. But there was no other option but for me to do it on my own. Like there weren't any. I don't really think there were any agents that could help me. So. That was probably why I got the head start on trying to do it on my own, because it's hard when other people are involved and it's not your own. I don't know how much.
Yeah. So do you have an agent now working with you? So you're just doing this all off the back?
All on my own.
Okay.
The only reason I would want an agent is to help find... Just get Joe to do it. The only reason I would want an agent is to find sponsorships.
Okay.
So say like, I review a video game, and I want to sell... Audible is a good example, because that's something anyone's heard of. Audible, like, get a subscription to Audible, and that's where a lot of the secure money comes from. Like YouTube can at any minute just be like, oh, we don't want your channel to make money anymore because it's their platform, so I can't trust them. But if I go to Audible and then they find me they say like, oh, support us, promote Audible, and they'll pay me just a flat fee. So agents are quite good for finding stuff like that.
Okay.
But I do it. I don't sign to any of them. They're like, oh, we'll find you a sponsorship for your next video. Do you want to like sign up with us permanently? And we'll get you sponsors going forward. No, it's fine. I don't want to sign any contracts with anyone.
Could it be as easy as something that you personally like? I don't know, you're into a shoe company and you really like their trainers, and you just go towards them and you say, I really like your trainers. Do you want to sponsor my video? Or
I'm trying to remember if I've ever done that.
Because I always try and go, I love Guinness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want Guinness to promote this podcast.
Show this as well. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, bro.
Wow, what a delicious beverage.
Is it? Well, for us, really starting out in a game where videos are going to be online on YouTube, what advice would you give to us? In terms of, we were talking a little bit about this earlier, like say like swearing, for example, and say like trying to get promotional, standards on videos and things like that. What advice would you give to two guys trying to get a podcast as big as Joe Rogan's? But how do you get 1.2 million followers?
It all comes down to marketing, baby. Right. So what I did, this is my biggest thing, was I was like, so I make a video, no one watches it. How do I get people to watch it? Mm-hmm. And what I thought was the biggest thing I did was going to video game magazine websites, or just video game things like Kotaku and IGN, GameSpot. IGN's a really big one. And trying to get them, because they write articles every day about all the things going on in the internet. And I was like, what if I can get them to write articles about me? So I thought about I kind of tailored it to what would be a good headline for them to write about, and then they would be interested in it. So I would make videos based on what I thought they would be willing to write articles about. and that worked really well. There was something where I did, I took Fallout 4, which is a game I was talking to you about it. And I dressed up the characters in the game as people from Rick and Morty. I did loads of different things, but this one took off really well. And then I sent it to a company called Kotaku, who are an online video game blog thing. And then they were like, oh, this is a really cool video. So I basically recreated scenes from Rick and Morty in Fallout 4, basically, which is so out there and weird. But so I shared it with them, and then they were like, oh, this is cool. And then they wrote articles about it. And that video got like 1 million views in like a month because they'd written it. And the article went viral. So I came up with a viral idea, got them to promote it, and then it went viral because I didn't have. Whereas now, like, because I have a following, if I come up with a viral idea, it will go viral because I have the people there to make it go viral. So I went to someone who had the following to make what I'd done go viral, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
So is there a lot of detail that you've got to put into it, and like time and effort? How many hours do you put into promoting a video?
Yeah. So the main thing was the video had to be really good to get them to write. It had to be, because a lot of people do like let's plays where they just like turn their camera on and play a video game. Yeah. It's like, that's not going to go viral. It's not like unique enough or interesting enough. So I kind of tried to think of like, what's the hook here? What are we going to do to like hook people in? Then, so yeah, that video, I tried to make one a month. Okay. And back then, all I did was work. I needed to make some money. I had no money. So I quit my job. So I was like, well, yeah. So I worked like, I would work like maybe like 10 hours a day, and then I'd make one a month. And that was it. So each video would be like 200 hours. Does that make sense? 10 hours a day? Yeah. About 200 hours. And that was the trick. Just, it was all I did. So I had to quit. Yeah. So I had to quit. That was why I quit my job. I was like, this isn't going to work unless, because if I, put 50 hours into a video, I can't make it good enough to like get people excited. Yeah. So that was how I did it. And then I just ate a lot of beans and things,
So you really push yourself to the boundaries, like with the time and effort that you put into it, the detail. Is there a big team around you to make this, or is it all you?
No, it's just me. It's just me. No. Wow. Emma helps me, my wife, who I always act like, are you obsessed with your wife? And I always just bring her up, but no.
It's nice to be obsessed with you.
Lovely lady. She helps a lot, but she's running her own business, so she's quite busy. I have an editor who... This is nice. We can hear the microphones aren't going to pick up.
It's going to be like ASMR. No, it'll be fine.
It's raining, everyone. It didn't just freeze. No, it's just me. I did it mostly on my own. I like talking about like marketing, like, say I did a lot of videos about a video game called Fallout 4. Other YouTubers who also did a lot of Fallout 4 stuff were like, oh, these are really good. And they had a big following. So I was like, I don't know how I pulled this off. I got like this guy who had like 400,000 subscribers to just post one of my videos on his channel with a shout out to me at the beginning and the end. And I got like 30,000 new followers from that.
But it's about the hustle, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to hustle.
But that's because of the quality. He was impressed because of the quality. Yeah. And then I used the quality to like exactly. But if they were not that good, they wouldn't. If I hadn't put that much time into it, he wouldn't have been willing. Because he really liked it, he was like, I'll do it. I'll put it on your channel.
You put your 20,000 hours in, you get your 20,000 hours back. In most cases. I mean, we're very much of the start of our journey, and like I said to Fabe, like if we do this, we need to go wholehearted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, gotta go hard. Yeah. Exactly.
Go. Yeah.
Who needs to sleep? How old are you?
33. Yeah. So
you're still young.
I know. I'm gonna have a little girl on the way soon, so it's gonna be like no sleep at all. It's like I said to you guys last night. No, I went out and I saw a show and a gig. I'm not going to timestamp these audios, but I come home and I was quite drunk, and I crawled in bed at like 12:30, and I just thought I blacked out and went to bed. But then Georgie was like, "Do you know what he was doing last night?" I was like, "What?" I said, "You were peeking out the window." Looking for the toilet, saying, "I need to do my podcast." In my sleep.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I was like, "No way!" I was gone. I was fully gone. It's like, no. You were talking about doing your podcast in your dreams. So I was like, "Okay."
That's how much it means to us.
That's how much it means.
You care.
Yeah. Exactly. Have you ever started a video that you've put so much time into and you've just scrapped it and started again?
Ooh. I probably should have done with some things. Scrapping a video. I don't think so.
No.
No, once I start, I can't stop.
Yeah. So do you develop it again and again and again until
I'll go back and delete stuff and then re-put it in, but I've never scrapped a whole video, I don't think. I'm very stubborn. So there are videos out there that are just not very good that I should have scrapped, but I didn't do it. It's just about the constant stream of... So even if they weren't like great ideas, I still put a lot of time into them. So people kind of appreciate like that I put a lot of time in, even if they're not that great, I guess. I don't know.
I do see the comments in your videos. A lot of people give you appreciation for the work that you put in.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never sure. I'm like, I showed them to Emma, my wife, and I'm like, can you tell that I didn't sleep last night making this? And she's like, oh yeah. So I'm like, that's good.
Right. So when you're making one of these videos, how long roughly does it take time-wise? I mean, I watched a recent video of yours that you put out on Halloween.
Yeah, so I reviewed the Fallout TV show. I'm not sponsored by them, but Amazon, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was... Yeah, so sorry, I interrupted you.
Well, no. Just how long does... I mean, it's a lot of effort into a video that's like 45 minutes. You know, you can see everything that you write, everything that you do in terms of it. So you literally write everything that you do. You film everything that you do. You capture everything. There's no team around you whatsoever.
I have a camera person that might help me sometimes. So it's about 30% of my filming as a camera person there, and the rest of it I film on my own. I'm a control freak. I'm just like, Emma won't help me anymore. She won't work with me because like there was one scene where we had a full-blown argument afterwards because like I wanted someone to throw some dust in my face. Like I took a box and I went... And then off screen, the dust came back and hit me in the face. So she had a handful of dust and threw it in my face. And I looked at it, the shot after we'd filmed it. And I was like, can we just do that again? And she was like, no, it looks fine. And I was like, but you have to do it. You're my camera person. And we had this huge argument because we'd shot it 3 times. Yeah. And I wanted to shoot it one more. And she refused. And then we ended up having a huge argument. Now she won't help me anymore with the camera. So, because I will do the same take. What did I do? I did this scene where I stuck a plastic finger onto my finger and then had it fall off as if my finger was falling off. So it was just like my finger fell out and it looked like that on the camera. So, and I did, this is so embarrassing. I went through it. It was 4 hours of takes.
Really?
And it ended up not going in the film. So I took it out.
Wow.
And so that's why I usually do it all on my own. But then I'm just thinking about it. I'm so embarrassed. So I sped it all up and put it out for as a special bonus edition. And it's just me going like and dropping off and over and over and over again.
There's no embarrassment in being a perfectionist. I mean, that's why exactly attention to detail and like how you want something to be perceived.
I've learned that. Well, what happens though? What happens is I will be. Going through the editing and it'll be 4 a.m. and I'll get to this thing and I've done 30 takes. I'm like, can I swear?
Yeah.
Fuck that. And then I look at the first take and the last take and I just pick from that. And I spent 4 hours filming this. So I just take because it's 4 a.m. and you're like, I have to get this video out next week and I don't have time to go through all these takes. So you end up not using, even looking at it.
Yeah. You find it doesn't matter as much as you think. I mean, it's the same with it's like comping a vocal take. So you do I don't know. You'll do about 10 takes of one verse, and then you can comp. I normally go through because I want it to sound the best quality it could ever sound. Being a song, one line 10 times, which is the best one. But there could be the line could be, "Oh, what a beautiful day," but the "oh" is better than that "oh." So even comes down to the wording in the end. Yeah. And then you think, in the end, you just go, "That line's great." And now I'm doing it my own. The live sort of more of a live aspect of it comes through better. But you're right. I think you can spend too much time on trying to be perfect when the idea is already a good idea, so just roll with it.
I have a great story. I shouldn't have opened with that. This is a terrible story. Sorry. Do you know who played? I don't know if you're going to know who this is. He won an Oscar for Bridge of Spies, and he plays the BFG. Mark Rylance.
Yeah.
So I had a me and Mark Rylance once got on really well. I really had a really good time chatting with him. I met him at a party and we ended up getting on really well. And I was talking to him about acting. And I was explaining that, so he works on stage and he does a lot of stage. He plays Othello in a show that I'd seen recently. I saw him at an after party after he'd played Iago, sorry. And I was telling him that when I'm acting, often what I find is, say I'm like reading, I do my first take and it feels, because I've not seen it before, it's almost like you're surprising yourself and you're sort of like wading your way through as you do this first take, or maybe the first time you sing a line. Like when you sing live, it's the first time that day you're singing it probably, or like at least in a big period. And that sort of like self-discovery of you saying it, you always sound slightly surprised or like more interested. And he said the exact same thing about like performing live on stage. Like that's what's so good about it, is he can't do lots of different takes. So when he's like doing films and stuff, he's like, we have to do second takes and third takes. When you're on the stage, you just go for it. And the whole thing is one like big bit of energy, and it all like flows on from each other. So I think that's good. Just do one take.
Yeah. Do you feel like you could have a career in acting later on in life?
Only if there's no audience.
Right.
I can do it in front of a camera where I'm on my own.
Yeah.
I don't think... I don't know. I really don't know. Emma's doing something called The Great Christmas Feast at the minute, which is a one-man show.
Oh, yeah.
And he's walking around the stage doing a Christmas carol. And he's playing Scrooge, Bob Cratchit, all of the ghosts. And I watch it and be like, I could do that.
Yeah.
But also, I would die 100 times. I would walk out on stage and have a heart attack.
Through nerves?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I look at it and be like, this is so... It just looks so fun and interesting, but I don't know if I could. I think I would. I'm a nerdy guy who reviews video games. I don't know.
So what's the most fun you've had, like editing and recording a video?
Fun.
Yeah, the moment where you just thought like, I know this one's going to blow. This one's going to do really well.
I've got gold here. Yeah, what was it?
Well, actually, it's honestly, it always works the other way around.
Okay.
So I did a video. If I think this is it, this video, it's always actually doesn't do as well as the others.
Okay.
And then if I'm working on a video and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Who would do this? Like I did a video where I recreated a Bob Ross.
Oh,
yeah. Like Bob Ross is like a painter. And instead of, so I opened up Fallout 4, which is just like this shooting game. And instead of using paintbrushes, I put this afro on this character and he would use guns and he would shoot the paintboard. He would use like a rocket launcher and it would, but every time it exploded, there would be a beautiful picture on it.
Oh, okay.
And I made the whole video and I was like, this sucks. What have I done? This is, and immediately, and then like to this day, people still like will come up to me and be like, that Bob Ross video is just like, so it's kind of the other way around.
Okay.
So whenever I'm really excited about a video, I'm like, no, don't get too excited. Like you won't do as well.
But you also do them videos. It's not always about games, is it? Like you do these fun videos where like you'll watch someone who teaches you how to make like a cupboard or something like that, and then you'll do it. But even the Bob Ross, because that's what I thought you was going to go into. Like you'll do a Bob Ross painting and how you can be a Bob Ross painter yourself or whatever. I mean, I love all that stuff. I think you could do a TV show, and I think 100%. Because what people don't realise is that you're doing everything just in your house, right? And that's your studio. And it's like, why don't fix something if it ain't broke? So why do you need to be in front of an audience? Why do you need to, I don't know, like have other actors in it or whatever? You could do like a skit show or something, still related to games, still related to all this other stuff that you've got. Is it ever been a thought in your head, like I could do a TV show?
I have, yeah, I think so. I would always imagine that someone would come, because it kind of already is like a TV show. Like
it is a TV show. It's the new TV shows, isn't it?
Like a TV show would just mean that
it gets
you get
on TV.
You get more help, really, isn't it? Yeah. And the thing is that if I hired 40 people, I wouldn't make any money.
Right. Would you like more help, though? If there was, say, I don't know, let's just say Netflix goes, we want you to make a show. Here's 40 people to do whatever you want, and you will still get paid. Would you do it?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's a pretty yes. I think the thing is that most YouTubers, the thing is there's two sides to this. I get really upset with, there's this guy called Binging with Babish, who's a cooking YouTuber. He's very, very famous. He's got like 11 million subscribers, and for a while every video he did got like 6 million views. And he quit his job, and he makes food from TV. It's kind of like what I was saying earlier, like trying to get hook. So he would cook food from famous films and TV shows. Like he would make a Krabby Patty from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, right.
Just a burger. 10 million views just because he's hooked it like that. And I love him. But the thing is, what's really interesting is that there seems to be like two ways of YouTubers doing this. It's like, he quit his job, became an independent. He's an independent filmmaker. That's what I would say. I try and describe myself as. And then he went one way of just like, I'm going to make 3 videos a week. I'm going to hire. He must have like 20 people working for him. And that in of itself, he has made a TV show. That's how and now he makes 3 videos a week. And I think, well, why would you quit your job and become a YouTuber and then start like this global multimedia company? Because how I saw it was like, I can quit my job. I never have to leave the house. I don't have to talk to anyone. I don't have any colleagues. Because I hate, like, the biggest thing about working is working with people. Mm-hmm. I don't know if either of you, well, you can't say this because you have colleagues, but what I found was when I did have colleagues, like the hardest thing was managing them and doing all this stuff. So the whole point of becoming a YouTuber is you don't have to work with anyone. That was like the golden nugget. So when it's like, oh, would you hire people and, you know, get more work and help us? And I was like, well, that's kind of the opposite of the whole reason you would become a YouTuber. That's how I look at it anyway. Maybe I'm just an outcast.
Yeah. So there's no right way for you. Your way is the right way for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, I just think it's funny. I'm like, YouTube to me is all about working for yourself and keeping it small, but other people, and now it's becoming such a huge thing that it is kind of like TV now for a lot of channels, depending on who you watch. But I don't understand it.
It's mad. I mean, how, so in terms of YouTube itself, what happened? How do you know that you're doing well with YouTube? Did they email you and then like, we're going to open up your channel to more people and promote you because we've seen something in the algorithm? Is it, I know you get like you get the plaques, don't you? The silver plaques.
Oh, yeah.
When you get past 100,000.
I've got one here.
Yeah.
I never leave the house without it.
But do you then have like a connection with YouTube? Have you got like, is there someone that talks to you from YouTube and stuff like that?
No,
there isn't. Right. So there's no right way of like.
I have nothing, not a single line to anyone who will speak to me. There's the live chat system on YouTube. I occasionally talk to the people on there who don't. No, I don't want to be too mean. Who, in my experience, haven't been very helpful, but I do come to them with quite complicated problems. No, I asked them, I was like, oh, can I get a representative from YouTube to speak to help me manage my channel? And they said that they decide the eligibility.
Yeah.
They decide the eligibility criteria independently on their own, and then they will get in touch. So it's like it's like being like invited to be the Illuminati or something. Like you just have, they contact you.
Wow.
And so no, and I can't talk to them. I have no means to get hold of any of them, and so I'm just guessing.
Do you feel that there should be something in place for, like, say, over 100,000 subscribers?
Oh yeah,
something in place where it helps you out, or
I would think
someone
so.
that you can talk to.
I pay for YouTube Premium. They don't give it to me for free. I have 1 million followers on their website.
Wow.
So I don't get any. So because like I have to use the website to research, get ideas from other people, or just like, you know, reference my own videos. Like if I want to watch one of my videos to get, what did I say in that video? Load it up. I'll have to watch ads because they don't give me any kind of allowance for being like working for them. Wow. So my videos will get like, I'll upload a video, get 1 million views, but they won't give me YouTube Premium.
I think you should make a shout out now saying, YouTube, please help me.
Give everyone over 1 million subscribers YouTube Premium. What are you doing?
Should they really? I mean, it ain't much to ask, is it? I mean, what are they earning out of what you're doing? You know,
it's mad.
Crazy.
Do you put a lot of adverts on your videos? Or do you think that's like...
I let YouTube decide.
Yeah.
There's when you upload a video, you can select like, there's just like a monetization section. You click on it, and then it's like, how many, you can manually put them in, but YouTube will, so, and I used to do that. So what I would do is like, say like a really funny joke happened, like build up to a joke, the joke happens, end of joke, pop an ad in.
Okay.
I now let YouTube decide, because generally I think they really know, like, they'll be able to follow the data. So it'll be like, they'll know like when in the video people are getting bored or when they're really interested. So that when people are really, really interested, they'll pop an ad in sections where they know like, oh, people are losing interest here, they won't put any ads. So I just let them do it and decide. And then like, oh, when we put 5 ads in this video, some people click off, so let's put 4 in. So they know best. So I just let them. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but that's what I assume that they're doing. So I let them decide.
That sounds good though. That they're doing that, and they're finding the peaks and they're finding the dips. So it works. I think it works well.
You'd be amazed at the analytics, like the amount of data that they're collecting, because they know, like, they not like personal data, just like, because they, you know, you have an account with them, and they know, like, they'll be able to tell you like what parts of the video people like the most and stuff, just by like, there was just graphs that just show like viewer interest, and they really like this bit. I was like, how do they know this? It's like, tell more jokes like this. I'm like, what?
So they will tell you to say more jokes like this at this point in the video.
Yeah, or like, this is what people like the most, and you can extrapolate what you want.
This is interesting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what interesting stuff, but it's just everything you can imagine. They measure and tell you. Like, I can know at any minute how many people are watching. Wow. Like at this very second, how many people are watching like a video of mine. It's counting it all the time. And it can ruin your life, this, because like it's a graph that's just like, 1 minute ago you had 100 people watching this video. Now there's only 10. What have you done? Why don't you just give up? That sort of thing.
Well, I think I know one point where people want to tune in and your cats. Your cats are amazing in the videos. Like, that's such a cool idea to use your animals. I mean, it seems like you don't want other people to be in it, apart from like Emma or your cats. So it's very much again within it. Let's talk about your cats a bit though, because I would love it. Like, I tune into it because I used to be the voice of Sid, your black cat, who was Khajiit, so he talks Spanish and all this, didn't he? So it was such a cool idea that there was like this almost release for people that maybe weren't so into games, but they would watch for these comical elements as well.
People love cats.
People do love cats.
The internet loves cats.
They got 9 lives, so they can do a lot. What was when did you first think of putting Sid into the show, and how was it working with animals? They always say don't work with kids and animals, don't they?
Oh gosh, yeah. I think it's because there's a YouTuber called John. All ideas are stolen from someone else. So there's a YouTuber called John Trod, and he has birds. Right. And his shtick was that he had his bird that sat on his shoulder, but he was a robot, and he would roboticize the voice. And so I think I just stole that idea, really. And I was like, what have I got? I've got a cat. The first cat, Sid, oh my God, what a dream. I would just like plop him on a table. There's a scene, no, I can't show it. There's a scene where I sat him on a stool, put a light behind him. You'll have seen this, but I put a spotlight behind him, shone it on the back of his head, and then filmed him from the front. So he was just a silhouette. And he just sat there on this stool in the middle of this room with all these lights on him, just like, and I was like, oh, Sid, look at the camera. And he'd be like, that was it. That was done. And It was amazing. And then my other cat, Luna, is a nutcase. She's just like, I got really lucky recently. I wanted to film her in the garden, and then she just went, like, looked up at the camera, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I looked behind me, and there was like 1,000 birds in this tree that they'd all flocked to it. And she was like, and I was like, well, this is good for this scene, but otherwise she won't sit still. But he was a dream. I think if there were stock prices in my channel, I think it really went down when Sid passed away.
What? No, yeah. R.I.P. Sid. As well as R.I.P. Sid, he put me out of a job. You know,
I
couldn't voice him anymore.
I can't bring a new cat in. It's like, oh, it's the same voice. Yeah.
I'm sure you can put voices on that.
Yeah, I could change him. Where did you? What was the story behind Sid? Didn't he come with the house? Or
yeah, he came with our house. We moved into our house, and the guy who was selling the house was Australian, and he was like, I'm going back off to Australia. I don't know what that is.
Right, I'm going back to Australia. Yeah. We'll do that.
I'm taking Sid, and we were like, oh, that's really sad, because taking a cat to Australia is quite a big thing.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I think we just played with the cat so Emma looked around the house while I played with the cat in the garden. That was how we decided to live there. So she looked around because I was like, I don't know. And then the owner saw that and was like, oh, maybe I should just give Sid to these people, because I can't really drag this cat all the way to Australia. We think it probably just killed him. He was quite old. He was like 12 at the time. And so he just gave him to us. And then all his teeth started to fall out one by one. So we ended up spending a small fortune keeping this bedraggled cat alive because he hadn't been looked after properly. No, I shouldn't say that. No, he didn't look after. Cats. The reason, sorry, I'm going to say this because I don't want to say his name. The owner of the Sid, he was very good. But what happens is if you feed them just like wet food in packets over time, is PSA for cat owners, it makes their teeth rot. That's all it is. He was very well looked after. But so as they get older, they just start falling out. So just drop that in as an aside. So that's where we got him.
Look after your cats, people.
Feed them food that doesn't have sugar in. I don't know.
Good food. All right. I just wanted to talk about Fallout. What is your best ever Fallout?
Which of the games?
Yeah, which one of the games is your best ever one?
Well, I feel I've been playing Fallout 4 is like the really big famous one.
Yeah.
And I spent my entire career slating it as one of the worst games of all time. But I haven't played it in 10 years and I'm reviewing it now, finally. And I actually think it's pretty good and I feel really bad. I went over all my old videos and I slate it. It became like my meme, like, oh, this game's as bad as Fallout 4, right? And now I've played it and I'm like, oh, this game is actually quite fine. But my favorite is a game called Fallout New Vegas. This is very well documented on my channel that this is like my favorite game. So Fallout, how interested are people going to be in the Fallout series?
They'll be interested. We'll go for it.
So there's Fallout 1 and 2, which came out in like the late 80s to the early 90s. And they were like huge cult video games that the masses never really heard of. But if you had like a computer in the late 80s and early 90s and you're like, what's this floppy disk? And you stick it in and it was just like really good games, like games that had no business being that good. Like all the ideas and everything were so smart and all the art in it was incredible. And then they went out and because it was so small back there, the company, I think they're called Obsidian now. They're still going. I can't remember what they used to be called. So they went bankrupt and then sold Fallout to a company called Bethesda. And Bethesda made Fallout 3 in like 2008, 2007. They made Fallout 3 in 2007. And because the art was so good, they just marketed, I was saying earlier, marketing, they just stuck the Vault Boy and they used the same music that they did in the original games, all the same artwork, and everyone just lost their minds. Because it was so good, it was so classic. And the game is probably one of the best-selling games of all time. And so they made all this, they took all these ideas. I mean, obviously they did a lot of good stuff with it, but they bought this property. They knew, they were like, this is a good property. And it was they probably didn't buy it for much because the company had gone bankrupt. So it's really interesting. And then Obsidian, who made Fallout 1 and 2, Bethesda contracted them to make Fallout New Vegas using Fallout. They say take Fallout 3 and basically mod it into a new game. And so they gave all the original developers of the first two games the Fallout property back. They were going to get Bethesda would get all the profit, but they were going to develop it and split the money or however it worked. And then it's basically generally believed on the internet that they basically just took their property back, made this game Fallout New Vegas, and it is basically the best video game ever made. Wow. So it's so cool. And then they just gave Fallout back, and everyone's like, yeah, just give it back to Obsidian. And everyone wants them to like contract them to make another game. Okay. But I think over time, Amazon's made a TV show now about Fallout, and it's just like passing this property around to these different developers. It's not really possible anymore because there's too many people involved. Right. So they just can't do it. So it's a shame. So
So what took you 10 years to review it finally?
I don't know why. I've been reviewing Fallout games for 10 years and I haven't reviewed Fallout 4, which is hands down the most popular one.
That's crazy.
Sold like a million, bazillion, squillion copies and I've never reviewed it. So I'm working on it now. Mainly, I told you this is the car. It's a cost of living crisis. Like, we gotta. I think I just did. I kind of didn't do it out of like, it's like you're ace in the hole, and you're like, just leave that like tucked away, and then you end up like forgetting about it, and then it's gonna be this is what I'll be making it. I'll be like, this video is everyone's gonna love it. It's gonna bomb completely. So that's why it took me so long. I think I was just like, I think it's more like I was like, I can do it without it. I think I was being quite stubborn. I was like, I can be successful without like relying on the things that are going to make me really successful. It's so stupid. It'd be like having like selling like sell these for a living, and everyone goes mad on them, and you're like, oh, we'll shelf those. We don't need to sell any more of those. What was I thinking? So, yeah.
I get it though. I get it. Maybe that's in our gene pool a little bit, because I've
making it hard on myself, I think, is what I was doing.
But why do we do that? Because I mean, do you remember the GIMPs, like my illustration thing? Because obviously, I'm making it. I'm not trying to do me. This is
do it. I want to hear it.
It's so I illustrated this for Matt, and this was Sid, and because it is disgrace, that's his voice and all that, and it's got the logo on it. And I had this little company called the Gimps, and the Gimps were an alien race that were obsessed with our culture, and they could morph into us, but very badly. So they didn't have noses, they didn't have ears, they had awful skin, they looked like they were rotting, but they loved our culture. So the idea was that you do like, I don't know, let's just say an Elvis, a GIMP. Yeah. You knew it was Elvis, but it was a GIMP. And then all these people like latched onto it from like the drum and bass world.
Well, it was great.
Yeah, like EDM world, things like that, and like rappers and grime artists. And then all of a sudden, all these guys are like putting them up on their display pictures and stuff. And I had opportunities to run with that and make it as successful as possible. And I was just like, nah, this is too cool to be successful.
Crazy. Who did you work with? Sorry,
mate.
It's about you.
No, I'm very interested.
So the first person I gimped properly, who I knew she would put it up, was a girl called Aya Mara. And Aya Mara was massive in the drum and bass world. She was like the vocalist of drum and bass. It's sort of similar to how like Becky Hill is now. And she loved it. She posted it up, and then all of a sudden you got all these guys sort of asking for it. So like, let's just say like Steve-O the Madman. He asked for it, and it was like, oh, wicked. There's someone with like a good following, let's do them. And then as you drew that and gave that to them, they would put it up on their display picture, or like, just post it, and then all their fans would be like, oh, like Rusko, who was like one of the big DJs, Scream, Benga, who else? Like rapper-wise, there were grime artists that were asking for it. I had sorry, Matt.
Oh, Joe, what have you done?
Yeah. I had the guy who wrote, directed, and created Fight Club.
Oh, Fincher.
Yeah. So
you mean wrote the books or the TV or the film?
Wrote the film because then he wrote a graphic novel afterwards. I was in contention to illustrate the graphic novel for Fight Club 2. So it was like
you self-sabotage,
it's very much a thing I do. I self-sabotage, and
it's very common,
I know, but it's just weird. Like, why? And I've gone back to it in the past, and I totally understand. It's just something in our gene pool. I don't know what it is, but we just go, we got something great. Nah, it's not for everyone. You can't have it. It's ours. And it's like, and then you go back. Why? I could have just been sitting in my bedroom illustrating all these, because I did every single one of those. Anyway, we're going to go back,
and they were great.
Yeah, they were all right.
And if you Google them, the viewers and listeners will be able to see them.
Yeah. Go and have a look at the Gimps.
It's over now, though, so you're not really self-promoting. You killed it dead.
I killed the race of aliens called the Gimps that I created for better means of life. They're all gone. I was going to ask you, what do you think about the TV show?
I think it's great.
Of Fallout. So you like the TV show Fallout?
Yeah, I think what's really interesting is I spent I guess this is like about market research. I don't know. I was like, Fallout TV show. This is what we were saying earlier. I was like, this is it. This is the thing, because it's huge. It's the most streamed. Like Amazon's like biggest stream it's been streamed 1 billion times, I think. Wow. No, that can't be right. 100 million, 1 billion can't be right. But Google it. Yeah. It's either 10 million or 100 million, something like that. It's very, very big. And so I was like, I'll review it. So this is the most time and money I've ever spent on a review. And I spent 5 months on it, and I released it, and it's done great. But there was like a cap on how it was doing. And I was like, that's interesting. Like, it kind of leveled off. And so I went on YouTube and typed in Fallout TV show, and I saw no video bigger than this cap that it had hit. There's like a limit of like the number of people on YouTube watching videos about the Fallout TV show. It's very interesting. I'm wondering if it's because it's only been 1 season. Maybe in like 5 years, when they've done like 3 seasons, it will all be traffic. So it's you'd think the biggest TV show of the decade has come out, and you review it, and it's going to go. Yeah. But there's like a cap on how many people are interested on YouTube. I guess the market. So if I'd Googled it before, I'd been like, oh, the market here is this, and I would know going in. It's so interesting. But that's an aside. The TV show is really good.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it at all?
Yeah, I've watched it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I've watched it.
Yeah.
I've watched halfway through it at the moment, so no spoilers, please. But the money they put into it, and I mean, he's great. What's his name? The Texas guy. What's his name?
Walter Goggins. The ghoul.
Yeah, and he's in like Tarantino films and stuff like that. I think when actors fall on a piece like that, it's perfect for them, because the look and stuff. I mean, you've done yourself up as a ghoul. What did that like? That was crazy.
Yeah, I wanted to be a ghoul from the show and the games, so I had a company called Monster FX put SFX makeup on me, which was fun for a few different reasons. One, I got to dish about the TV show Glow Up with him, because I was like, oh, the only thing I've seen is like Glow Up, and he's like, I hate Glow Up. Because like the thing was interesting about that is like he was doing all my SFX and it was all perfect. He put it all on, he was done, and he put a bald cap on, he put a forehead, 2 cheeks, a nose, and a chin. So he did my whole face, stuck it all on, put it on, and it was perfect. And he was like, you watch Glow Up, something's off wonky, these are supposed to be the upcoming thing. I'm better than that. And he is. Like, it's just so funny. Like it was just because what I'm saying is there are specialists out there who are so good, and it's just like an art to them. And the work he did was perfect. So it's just really fun. But it's a really interesting show, because like the stuff I was saying, how like these people in like the late 80s, they came up with all these ideas. They came up with the vault suits, ghouls, mutants, radiation, all the art style. None of it's changed. They've just taken what was in the original game and they've put it in the TV show. Huge success. Like the people who came up with these ideas in the late 80s invented a global brand, but no one knew about it. Well, people did, but it wasn't like, it was in a video game. If they'd made like a TV show using all these ideas back then, it would have been this huge thing. They just created magic.
Do you feel like they were like ahead of their time?
I think so. Yeah. It was just, they were so smart. They had this idea, and it was one of the best. I think it's just like we're seeing now. It was literally one of the best ideas anyone's ever had, because it's making billions in the global market. I wonder what it's like being there. I'm sure they don't care, but just be like, it'd be like the 5th Beatle. I did all of this.
Yeah,
I don't know. So it's just interesting.
Have you seen any games? Well, on that subject, that like, you think are little masterpieces that don't get any recognition whatsoever, and you could be the next Bethesda. You see Fallout, you go, hold on a minute, let's take this, let's make it into like international selling big bad game. Is there something like that you've played before where you think, oh, I could do wonders with this, or this should get more recognition?
Someone could take this and make it big. I think you could. The thing is, I think you could say that about like most things, like stuff that, like when you say like there's music, and you're listening to a song, and you're like, this song is amazing, and it's got like 10,000 plays, but then like Coldplay's Paradise is just like up there. So I think with enough marketing, I think Fallout is an example of it's doing well because it's so classic.
Yeah.
But I think with enough marketing, I think most things can do well. I don't know.
But have you played a game where you thought this deserves more?
I only really play video games that I hear about.
Right.
And when I hear about them, that means they're really popular.
Yeah.
So not really. I don't think so.
That's fine. Because
Thanks,
it's leading on to our little game. Actually.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got a game called Shotstopper, and we've got tons and tons of popular games in our shot-stopping menu.
Oh, yeah. Am I allowed to?
No, you cannot. So your subtitle for Shotstopper is obviously games. So the idea of the game is that we name 2 games to face off against one another. You can only pick one. You have to tell us why you picked that one.
Okay.
But if you can't pick between them,
Is it if they're like equal in goodness?
Yeah.
What if I've not played half of these?
well, I reckon you have. I've sort of based these on videos I've watched of you.
Oh, good. Okay.
And growing up with you, because every Christmas, bang, the games come out. You know, Nintendo 64. Let's go. You know, wicked.
All the teachers at school were like, "Oh, he's wasting too much time playing video games." I'd like to compare our salaries. If I'm beating them, I'd be happy.
Okay, so before we go on,
Look at me now.
Yeah,
look at me now.
How much do you make, Mr. Wilson? I've made that name up. There was no teacher called Mr. Wilson.
Owen Wilson is your teacher. Wow, man. But on that, just quickly then, like, what do you say to, like, you know, a young gamer in his room where teachers say, like,
Put your trousers on.
Yeah. But teachers are saying, like, you never amount to anything. You know, you can't be a YouTuber, you can't be a TikToker, like, you can't be that stuff. Like, what do you say to those guys now that can be that?
Yeah. Well, it's hard, isn't it? You know, like,
what does it take?
I think the thing is it's good to have a fallback. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that's because the thing is, you go online and you see all like these like teenagers doing it, but if say like every year like 1 million teenagers try and become big on YouTube, you only see the super successful ones.
Yeah.
So I believe in like playing safe with this sort of stuff, in that you want to have a fallback. So I think having an idea of like, if this doesn't work, what will I do in a way? So it's like, say like, oh, I'm doing this, and if it doesn't work, I'm screwed. Like, that's not a very like good way of going into it, I don't think. Like, so it's good to like have a plan B. Yeah. So throw yourself at it as hard as you can, but like be building something on the side if you can, I guess. If that makes sense. Because when I did it, like, I quit my job and did it, but if it didn't work out, I could have gone back to my old career, I guess is what I'm saying. So that was why I think it was okay for me to just drop everything. Because if I had nothing to go back to, I would have just, and it hadn't worked, it would have been a bit of a bad thing. So don't do that.
there's obviously an age where you can say, all right, let's go for it. And then there's an age where you say, all right, it's time to stop now. Yeah. Whereas with you started at an age where you was working anyway. So a kid starting out at 15,
yeah, pretty
fine to just go all in, right?
Yeah, I think stay in school.
Obviously.
What I'm saying. Yeah. It's probably all I mean. Is like, don't like, but then it's hard. Like, it is hard because it depends on the person, because they could be really, really talented and smart and have loads of good ideas. So I think just like with any sort of career, just plan, have a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to have support as well, I think. Like, if you have an idea, like, I don't know, I'm going to be a dad. So through watching you, being able to have a career as a YouTuber, I would definitely think differently now. If my daughter wants to go, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to have a channel. And it's not like, no, you're not doing that. It would be more about, okay, what is it going to be about? What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do that's different?
Yeah, what sets you aside?
How are you going to make money?
Yeah. And it is important to have a plan B. Like, I never had a plan B. And, like, it was always just like, music. And then later on it hits you and you're like, I've got to work. So I do think that's important. And you always had that plan B, I guess. Like, you had one regardless, because you never knew you was going to fall into this amazing world of YouTubing, you know, which is just an open book of whatever the you want it to be, I suppose.
Well, in the end, I was working, I was privately teaching maths, chemistry and physics on the side, because that I could work at the weekends. I was teaching privately, so I would go to people's houses and just teach one-on-one maths and physics. And so that now, I mean, nowadays teaching someone GCSE maths, you get 50 quid an hour.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I mean about having. That was why I think it's good to get an education, because then you can use that. You know, you could start a business, like, because I basically started a teaching business and a YouTube business at the same time. One didn't require a lot of time and energy, but made money, and the other didn't make any money, but required all the time. So it's just like finding a balance. That was how I did it. There are things like maybe before you start a YouTube career, try and start a career in something that will make money.
100%. Right. Talking about this, lots of games that have made lots of money. Right. We're going to go back onto our game, Shotstopper. It's called Games Shotstopper. 2 games up against one another. You pick one game. If you can't pick between them, it's a shot. Don't worry, I won't do you wrong. Right.
Are you going to pick any, or is it all me?
No. This is, we read them out. So, and then you have to pick. So, GoldenEye or Grand Theft Auto?
This is fun. Could you be specific about which Grand Theft Auto?
No. So
you mean as a whole series?
Yeah, just as a whole series, because you could go on forever with this.
I hate all of the GTA games, so GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Yeah. Okay, right. We've explained.
Okay, GoldenEye or FIFA?
GoldenEye. I've only played FIFA like once. I think I was very drunk.
Right. GoldenEye or Minecraft?
Ooh. See, Minecraft, do I elaborate? Am I allowed to? I suppose that's the point.
Yeah, you go.
What's interesting about Minecraft, people, is that Minecraft is a really great game, and everyone thinks it's for kids. Minecraft is a game that a lot of kids play. It is not a kids game. And this is me getting defensive.
It's true.
I played it at uni with all my friends when it first came out. Kids weren't playing it at the time. Fun story, the guy who developed it, Notch, he developed Minecraft on his own, basically. One person, solo developer. He sold it to Microsoft for like billions. He became a patron of my YouTube channel. He got into my videos and was like, and he would send me DMs on Twitter. I really like them. I'm like, okay. Became a patron, and it was like, Notch has become a patron. I was like, oh my God, a multi-billionaire become a patron. $50 he gave me. I was like, can you just I'll just drop this little nugget and give me like $100,000. He wouldn't even notice it gone. Anyway, sorry.
Well, you heard it, Notch. Do it, mate. So who are you picking?
Minecraft. Because Minecraft you can play forever.
Okay.
Forever game.
Okay.
GoldenEye would get a bit, I mean, it was on the N64.
Okay, Minecraft or Super Mario Kart?
Minecraft.
Oh, really? That surprised me. We always used to play Super Mario Kart.
Honestly, Minecraft is for me is like a 10 out of 10. Best game ever.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
It's and it's not even like I'm not very, like, I'm not like art. I can't do art. Like, say like, I want to build like a giant flaming skull with lava coming out of it. You can do all of that. Mine just looks terrible. I'm like, I have this big idea and I build it up, and I'm like, it's lopsided and it looks really sad. You would be really good at it.
Right.
It's just like Lego, but all of the bricks have properties, so they all behave differently.
Okay.
It's just like building Lego structures, but you have to like gather the materials, and it's like a game. It's really fun. It's like a building game.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with being a kid. It's good for kids, but it's not a kid's game. Anyway.
Right. That's all right. Minecraft or Legend of Zelda?
Oh, I'm not a huge Zelda fan. Okay. But there's a lot more of. There's only one Minecraft. Me and Emma would play Legend of Zelda together. The new ones, the ones on the Switch. There's Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which is a terrible name, really. Tears of the Kingdom. And Zelda had a tear tattoo, and that was the tear of the kingdom because she was the tear, and it's just bad. Anyway, sorry. I think. Oh, this is hard. I can decide. I can make a
Well,
decision.
you can do a shot and we can restart.
What is it? What happens if we do that?
So if you take a shot, you can't choose. You have to do a shot if you can't choose between two names, which is Minecraft and now Legend of Zelda. And then
I'm just imagining that these are the only. If I'm picking a game that I would. It's the only game I'd ever be able to play ever again. Okay. I'm looking at it like that. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's fine. So what are you doing? Are you picking between those two, or is it a shot?
No, I haven't played Minecraft in like 5 years. So I think I can do Zelda.
Okay.
Right. Zelda or Pokemon?
Zelda.
I knew that was coming.
Mate, Pokemon is a 10 out of 10.
I played
for
for you.
Yeah, I love Pokemon.
I played Pokemon Smash or Pass with Chat GPT the other day.
Did ya?
And I was like, it was like Pidgey, and I was like, I'm not going to have sex with a bird. And then it just went like Misty, and I was like, this isn't the game. Misty's not a Pokemon. And then he just started naming all of the female gym.
So what do you mean you did it with ChatGPT?
So I was like, can we play Pokemon Smash or Pass?
Yeah.
And it would just give me Pokemon names.
Oh.
And then I would say Smash or Pass.
Okay.
I think I was drunk at the time. I said, and it was like Magikarp, and I was like, I'm not gonna have sex with a fish. I kept giving it attitude, and then I said to it, I was like, oh, you pick, and it was like, I'm not able to make objective decisions. I am a robot. So yeah, sorry. What was it?
So Legend of Zelda, you're going
Zelda,
with.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so Legend of Zelda or Red Dead Redemption?
Zelda.
Oh, really?
I don't like GTA or Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
They're the
You've won.
Transformers of video games.
Yeah, I guess so. They actually are. But a lot of people get into it, don't
Yeah,
they?
no, people love them.
Yeah.
I'm a snob.
No, that's
Gaming
fine.
snob.
You're allowed to be.
Okay, Zelda or Fallout?
Oh, well, I have to pick Fallout because otherwise I will be out of a career. So it's quite easy. But if I were to do in terms of like quality of games, let's see this one. Yeah, we'll do Fallout. This is going to be really depressing that I just picked Fallout at the end of this.
So why Fallout?
Are we done? If I picked Fallout?
No. Why Fallout?
Fallout because, well, if it wasn't for the two newest Zelda games are really good, like really, really good. They've kind of like half saved Nintendo. Like before the Switch came out, Nintendo were in a lot of trouble. A lot of people say if Pokemon, I'm just messing my hair. If Pokemon didn't exist, they reckon Nintendo might have gone down.
Really?
Yeah, they lost so much money. The GameCube was a huge flop. Then they made loads of money with the Wii, and then the Wii U was a huge flop. So it was very much because the Xbox and the PlayStation have been quite solid.
Yeah.
Although Xbox is not doing so well now. But anyway, I don't think I would ever play. Okay, we're doing Fallout. I would never play Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom again. But I would play. I replayed all of Fallout New Vegas like a few months ago, and I had such a good time.
Okay, so you're going with Fallout?
Yes. Oh, this is so sad.
Fallout or God of War?
I've never played God of War, so I can see Fallout. I'm very out of touch with the young kids playing their games.
I thought that one would have been of interest to you, God of War.
I'm sure I hear it's really good. I've just never played it.
Yeah.
There's
Maybe.
loads of stuff I've not played.
There's the next video lined up. Play God of War. Right, Fallout or Street Fighter?
Fallout.
Okay, Fallout or Super Mario Brothers? This was my favorite as a kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they're really good as well.
They're the kings of Nintendo. You can't ever beat them.
They're good games.
It's so simple. It's just up is jump.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's just A is jump. B is jump? I don't know.
One of them.
It's that one.
The one on the right. I'm really boring and don't like the new Mario games. So I'm going to pick Fallout.
Okay.
Everyone loves them, but I don't like them very much.
Right.
I'm a hipster.
Fallout or Resident Evil?
That's very good. That's okay. I can't pick between those. It's weirdly enough, I already know that I made.
What shot would you like?
Oh God, should we do some gin? No, we better not. You'll make me sick.
You got Jack Daniels. You got a bit of rum. You can have limoncello.
I'll do some limoncello. That sounds lovely.
This is a favourite on the podcast.
Seems like
limoncello. Yeah, I'll only give you a little drizzle. Right.
There's a game called Resident Evil 4, the original.
Yeah.
There's a remake that
Oh my god, that's not a little drizzle. Sorry.
that I put next to Fallout New Vegas. So it's Resident Evil 4 and Fallout New Vegas. They're both equally my favorite games. Look at you doing your research.
Told ya. Right. So this is your first shot.
Chin chin.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah. I love limoncello. How do you make limoncello?
Lots of lemons.
Lemons.
I got that from when we went to Santorini. So that is the heart of
Hey, look at it.
limoncellos. Yeah. There you go. There's another nice one there, which is like it's more of a milky liqueur
Oh, look
one.
at this. Should I show the camera?
Yeah. I can't say the name, but big up them.
It looks like someone's just like stuck that on.
Well, it was a proper lemon garden. They were just on a side, and
Can I have this?
yeah, of course. Right. So what are we up to now?
We're at Fallout.
Oh, so do we?
No,
you jump?
it's done. Yeah.
Fallout's
So you
done.
start
So
again.
We're going Lauren Croft.
Laura
The
Croft.
sexy Lauren Croft.
or Fortnite.
Oh God, can I do neither? I've never really.
You got to pick one then. Oh, that's weird. You can't pick one because they're both so bad. Never had that. Never had that.
I'm a big. So what? Lara Croft or
Fortnite.
I've never played Fortnite, so I'll pick Lara Croft.
Okay.
There are some good ones.
I remember Stephen, your brother, older brother, our eldest cousin, playing Lara Croft quite a bit. And I wonder if it was just because of Lara Croft.
I think it was probably, I think it's a woman's shape that you can recognise.
Yeah,
in a video game.
exactly. So, all right, Lara Croft or The Witcher?
Oh, The Witcher. Yay.
Why?
We're going to pick that. Because it's great. The Witcher, when I first played it, I thought was like one of my favourite games. I replayed it and I found it hard to replay because it's all story. So I'm going to go to... so I let Fallout New Vegas and Resident Evil be above it. But The Witcher 3 is really good, so I'm going to pick that.
Okay. The Witcher or Crash Bandicoot?
The Witcher. I think it's going to be easy now. I don't think there's anything that can beat it.
I love Crash Bandicoot as well.
My cousin Marcus, me and him played it every Christmas for so long. It was one of our
Crash
games.
Bandicoot.
Yeah, I love
That was the guy with the mask. Wasn't it?
One of my friends, Jim Caddick of Cadicarus fame, so he's a YouTuber called Cadicarus.
Yeah.
So Crash Bandicoot is his Fallout.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
that makes sense.
So, but he did like a video. This is what I'm going to become as well, because he's reviewed all the games. So now he did getting every the title, getting every collectible in every Crash Bandicoot. It's like a 3-hour video of him explaining how you get every collectible with like sketches and stuff.
The effort of that.
I know.
Yeah, the amount of work, but it's it's a video about Crash Bandicoot, and I bet it's probably got like 2 or 3 million views, and it's just like ridiculous. The people are there, man, ready to go. Yeah, he's really cool.
Okay, so The Witcher or Call of Duty?
Do you ever play Warzone, either of you?
I don't.
No.
So during lockdown, me and my friends, all my friends weren't working, so at any time of day, I would play Call of Duty, and then we would just meet. That was so much fun. Probably the best time of my life.
But it's such a lads get
Yeah, it
together.
was
Well,
cool,
lads and ladettes, whatever you want to call it, but all the friends coming together and being like, "Yeah, let's do this."
Yeah, it was really- yeah. And then they all went back to work, and I'm at home waiting for another global pandemic now.
Please no, please not. We can still do these though. No one would know. We can be very busy, get paid from work still, and do these podcasts.
Well, exactly, yeah. A lot of people did that. How did that, there was someone I heard recently started during lockdown. Like so many businesses and stuff started during lockdown.
Yeah.
There's a YouTuber I watch called Mr. Sausage. Or Ordinary Sausage, but he calls himself Mr. Sausage. And he just makes sausages out of basically household items. Anything you can imagine. He did he started with a Big Mac sausage. And he's still going today. He's a YouTuber now, and he was like, today we're gonna, and he's got the voice of Peter Griffin. It's like, today we're gonna make a sausage out of a Big Mac. And he just grinds a Big Mac up and stuffs it into a thing and fries it. But that's his job. That is his full-time job. He makes sausages on YouTube.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And he started during lockdown.
Mad.
Right, so
I didn't pick anything.
No, you didn't. So it's Call of Duty or The Witcher.
The Witcher.
Okay, The Witcher or Tetris.
The Witcher.
I get it. All right. Okay. Hold on, where are we? All right, yeah. So The Witcher or Mortal Kombat.
The Witcher. I've never played Mortal Kombat.
Oh, shut up. That's quality.
The Witcher or Halo.
There's so many happy memories playing Halo. But it's not as good as The Witcher. So The Witcher.
Okay. There you go. That was Matt.
Halo's great as well.
Yeah.
By the way.
Is there a big community between you, the YouTubers? Like, do you feel like all connect and talk with each other, or do you just play your game and just watch their channels and stuff like that?
I think there's a really big community. I'm only just starting to get into it. I think they all know each other, actually.
Okay.
All the gaming YouTubers know each other. It's just one of those things. Like, I was very much out of the loop, and then you start to like nuzzle in, and then you're like, holy hell, everyone knows each other, and it's really cool. And what's really interesting about this sort of stuff is when this first started happening. And until quite recently, I was talking about this happened. I went to Germany. I can't remember where it was. I think I went to Gamescom in Germany, and I met a bunch of YouTubers who were quite big YouTubers, but who I'd spoken to briefly online. I still didn't know that many people. And then I went to like the pub with them, and there were like dozens of them, and they were all chatting and stuff. And this was about 4 years ago, and I was mostly interested in talking to the bigger YouTubers. But that's really frowned upon. This sort of idea of like schmoozing with the big YouTubers, they're not like that at all. This whole like, how many subscribers thing do you have? Generally amongst the gaming YouTubers I know, no one cares. If someone's got like 10k subscribers or 1 million, doesn't matter. They're all friendly with each other, not like, oh, I want to talk to the bigger. There's none of that. And I've learned that over the years, which is I'm really glad that I have, because you end up meeting loads of really cool, smaller YouTubers, like people with just a few thousand subscribers, people with 1 million. It's all the same. No one discriminates based on fame.
Yeah.
So they all know. The point is, they all know each other because they don't care how many followers you have. It's really nice.
Who was the first YouTuber that like brought you into the circle and said like, oh, I like you. I like your videos.
Meet my friends. I think. This is a limoncello making my brain go funny. There's a guy called The Spiffing Brit who's quite a famous YouTuber. He's really nice. He does a lot of like hacks and exploits in Skyrim. He does loads of other stuff. So big games will come out and then he'll try to break them, and it'll be like like you'll find glitches or like exploits within games. So it'll be like, oh, if I invest all of my money into the this is just the sort of things he does. Like about like a sim population game, and it'll be like, if you put 1 million into the water treatment systems, then you can get this infinite money glitch, and it's all that sort of stuff. But it's all really fun and silly, and he's really nice. There's a guy I've been talking to recently called Josh Strife Hayes, who knows everyone. I met him at a convention, and he was just like, and he knew everyone by name. There are people out there that they know everyone, and he's like, and he just would point at people and know their full names. And once you meet someone like that, then you know everyone, because he just introduces you to everyone. So you've just got to it's weird, you've just got to get, it's happened really slowly, and then all of a sudden you just jump in and you see that everyone knows each other. It's really nice, and they all help each other, they all give each other advice. No one cares how many followers you have, which is really good.
Yeah.
So there's a good sense of community on the YouTubing world. What have you found? I mean, obviously with 1.2 million followers, your socials, hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands and things like that. Have you found fame from what you do? Like, do people stop you on the street and stuff? Because I always remember, like, before you answer, we were out somewhere, and it was in like a Weatherspoons, and in a Weatherspoons you can obviously pay for someone's drinks and things like that.
We did live tweet our location.
Yeah, but this I didn't. Little Stephen did. So your older brother, Stephen.
When you call him Little Stephen,
He's not little at all, but because your dad's called Stephen, we call him Little Stephen.
Yeah, wasn't that funny when he took my phone and asked for money?
Yeah, but he literally was like, he was.
I didn't know this was happening.
No, but he didn't know it was happening. He was talking as if it was him. He was like, yeah, I'm in here. It's my birthday, and all of a sudden, I swear there was.
No, it was my stag do.
Stag do, yeah. Then all of a sudden, there was like 200 quid in an account for just beers. Someone was buying.
People were so generous. It was so nice.
But that's crazy.
People loved it.
But
it was mostly milk.
Yeah, they were bringing over milk. Funny things as well.
That was great. That was so great. It was a really. I wouldn't do something like that just because I don't want to ask my followers. I don't want to ask them for anything.
Yeah, so for the record, back then it was not UpIsNotJump,
Yeah.
Matt. It was his brother.
So when I found out, I was like, oh, I'm not. So I'm very grateful for everyone for getting involved because it was really fun in the end. I was just like, oh no, what have you done? Don't do that. Yeah. But it was really cool, and they bought us loads of milk.
But champagne and things like that as well, and beers.
Well, because it was my stag do, I was like, I don't want to go too crazy. But there was so much that like my friend, who I won't name, just got so drunk, and he's not from from England, and he just wandered off. Do you remember that? Yeah. And then I rang him, and I was like, "Where are you?" And we were in Peckham, and he was like, "Just this guy wandering around Peckham, no idea where he is, never." And he kept getting in taxis. So I was on the phone to him, and he was like, and I was like, okay, so tell the taxi to go to, and he interrupted me and was like, no, I know where I'm going. And then he just got into a taxi, and he was like getting taxis across Peckham. He said he spent hundreds of pounds on taxis. So that was good.
I was best man. I was best man at the wedding through the stag. We ended up in an arcade of all places, obviously.
I said to my dad while we were there, who I didn't strictly invite, by the way. He just turned up, and he was very welcome to be there, but I didn't invite him. Oh, Dad, you having a nice time? No. It's my stag do. You can't say that. I didn't invite you.
Yeah, I know. My old man.
You're very welcome.
Well. Yeah, but their idea is like, in a bar, get him drunk, but we was all...
It's my stag do.
I know. So we did a thing of playing all the games and all that. But have you had encounters just walking along the street and people stopping you and being like, oh, sign this, or can you, have you found a sense of fame from what you do, and do you like it?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. Oh man, I'm like, people are like, they're like, I probably don't want you to, you probably don't want to be bothered. And I'm like, yes, come over. It's interesting. It's mostly like barmen who will I think it's because I'll be like chatting with someone, and then they'll be like, oh, so it's usually like not people who don't come up to me that often, but sometimes when I'm like talking to someone. I do a lot of indoor rock climbing, and I get a lot of people coming over to me, but that's because they're all nerdy white guys in their 30s like me.
It must be.
But I do, yeah. So I do. I get just like once a month. But I really like it. It's really nice. I love meeting fans. It's my favourite thing.
It's a reassuring thing, right? Because you know you're going in the right direction with what you're doing.
Please keep watching.
What?
I have a mortgage.
He's honest. Yeah. But that's, I mean...
I did like a panel, and it was like 3 YouTubers, and it was like, why do you do this? And it was like, they're like, oh, I like to do good for like the community and charities. They got to me, and I was just like, I have a mortgage. That's what I do. If I didn't make any money, I wouldn't do it at all.
Well, to finish up, Matt, what is next for UpIsNotJump?
Fallout 4. So I've made a rule, like we were saying earlier about being allergic to success. I have made a rule that every other video will be a Bethesda video because they do the best. And then in the middle, I get to experiment and do the stuff that people don't care about. So what's next is I'm reviewing Fallout 4. I'm putting together a 3-hour compilation of all of my Fallout reviews into one video and putting it online, because YouTube is now going, as you guys are doing, very long form. YouTube is either going 30 seconds or hours. That's what they want. That's what so I'm like, how can I make a 3-hour, people are making like 3-hour videos, millions and millions of views. That's the meta that it's moving towards. So I can't make a 3-hour video because it takes me 5 months to make a 40-minute video. So I'm just going to do compilations and see what happens. I'm quite excited. I think it's going to be a very good idea. We'll see. Well, that's what people want.
Matt?
Yeah.
UpIsNotJump.
Matt.
Where can everybody find you?
On youtube.com/UpIsNotJump.
Anywhere socials?
TikTok.com/UpIsNotJump. Instagram.com/UpIsNotJump official. I had to delete my Instagram because I used a bot to like posts. You might remember this.
Right.
Because I was like, I need to get big on Instagram. So because this is when I was like 24, and I was like, I'll get a bot. And then I got messages from people being like, have you been liking, like you like this post? And I was like, oh my God. And I was just like, I've just got to delete it. It liked like 10,000 posts. It just likes everything. So then it's like your public image, if people go back, you're like, whoa. So I just deleted it.
Smart move.
Yeah, I think it was a good move. Yeah. God,
well, on that note,
bad idea. Woo!
The bar is now closed. That was Matt UpIsNotJump. And
thank you so much for having me.
no, thanks, Matt.
you.
Thanks for coming on, man. Love you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and this is the Champ and Contender Podcast. Over and out.
Peace.
Thank you.